Hey guys, Cat's here. Today, for the video, we're going to be talking about the Plague Doctor from Spirit Halloween. Spirit Halloween has set the price of the Plague Doctor at $230. So, in the video, the Plague Doctor is this completely black clothed with a character with a rope around him, and he's got this big Plague Doctor mask. He's got red light up eyes and a skull staff. He has fog coming out of his mouth and his just in general like his clothing, and I think that's really cool. So he doesn't do much, but here is the video that Spirit Halloween has on their website. Alright, so let's talk about his activation. Now, obviously, he doesn't have activation exactly. He has a voice, and he has his red light-up eyes coming through his goggles, which is really cool. But this is just a static prop. This isn't an animatronic. So that's why they gave him a lot of detail, because he's just standing there in like a pose almost. And he's got a really cool voice, though. But he has, he's a very tall animatronic, but he doesn't do anything. Obviously, this is just meant to be a static prop. It's not like they tried to give him animation and then, he doesn't have much. He's just purposely meant to be a static prop, and that's completely fine. It's just, I don't know why they would set the price so high with no animation whatsoever. But that's pretty much all I can say for that. Alright, so let's talk more in depth about his looks. As you can see in the pictures here, he has this really cool detailed looking mask on, probably made of like some sort of cotton or like some sort of cloth. And he has really big red light up eyes, which I think is cool. And then he's got this hood covering his face. And at the beak of like his Plague Doctor mask, he has like this little iron part, which I think is really cool. And with everything that's going on, I think it's kind of the perfect animatronic to be having out right now. I've always loved this Plague Doctor aspect. I've always loved how that looks, and I think it's really cool. More about his looks. I mean, it's just a general black cloth all around. He's got this really cool light up staff, which I think is neat, because his staff also lights up. It's got like the double skulls on top, and then like an oak wood around in the bottom. And obviously he has really cool looking claw-like hands. Alright, so obviously we have to talk about the price, which in this case is really a big deal to me. He is like the most expensive static prop I've ever seen, ever. I'm pretty sure there was one that was like a butcher. He had glowing red eyes and stood still. I don't know, he wasn't called the Butcher, but you guys know what I'm talking about. He was from 2 years ago, 2018. He was only maybe 180. I think it was 180, 200, not sure. Don't quote me on that. But this guy, I mean, $230. I get he's life-size and he looks really cool, but for zero animation, that's definitely not worth it. Unless you have the money and, you're like rich, I guess, you can just, I feel like there's no reason you should really buy him unless you like static props like that, I guess. But I'd much rather, no matter how cool he is, I'd just much rather get something that actually moves. I just don't think that price is worth it at all. Maybe if they had it at like 170, I know I'm really taking a chunk out of it, but come on, $230 for a static prop, that's ridiculous. Oh, and don't even get me started on the fog machine. You think that looks cool? Well, guess what? You have to buy that separately. It doesn't come with a fog machine. Maybe if it did, I'd understand the price a little bit better, but no. You'd have to buy your own separate fog machine to even get that cool fog machine effect coming from his face and his cloth. Alright, so let's get more into the detail. Like I said earlier, his clothing is just a classic black drape. That's completely fine with me. He's got that little iron part on his beak. the hands are something that I really think are cool and they stand out. In one hand, he's holding his big cane with the really cool looking skulls, and this staff, which looks like a really cool detailed like oak sort of thing, and it's got lots of etchings in it and stuff and bumps and cool things like that. And then he's got his cool looking like talons, almost like he's like succumbed to some sort of plague. Like his hands are like rotting away almost, which I think is really cool. He's got like talon looking things, almost like he's actually some sort of bird person, which are black at the tips and looks like they're almost like rotting away. And they're really detailed with all kinds of wrinkles and stuff. And they're just like the sharp claws and stuff. And then actually at the top of his neck, you can see little like stitchings around his cloth. So they're like cross stitchings, so like the hood can't like breathe in any toxic air or whatever. So it's like sealed together almost. But like, and at the top of his hood, he also has little like stitching together marks on him. And on the mask almost, I don't know, I'm not sure if you zoom in, it almost looks like, the beak part is like stitched together with the iron that is like bolted on the tip there so nothing gets into his mask. Okay, so in the product description, it doesn't specifically say if he has any lines, but in the video, it sounds like he's making like a breathing noise, but it's like almost distorted, like he's breathed in toxic air, and it really goes well with the prop itself. I'm glad that it has something. Hopefully, I think it doesn't, specify, but in the video, it gives you like this really cool, like deep, distorted breathing, like he's like sick or something, and I think it sounds really, really cool. So in the video that Spirit Halloween provided us with on the website and on the YouTube video that they gave us, you can see they go around showing you what he looks like and all the fog coming out of him, which I think is really cool. And you can hear that cool breathing and watch like the lights coming out of him and stuff, and see all the fog that's like coming out of his cloth, which I think is a really cool way to display him in the video. So, I mean, comparing to other things like static props that I've seen before, he basically, obviously he's static, but Spirit Halloween has released other static props before. So, like Twisty the Clown from American Horror Story, that guy's only $200, although he doesn't do anything. I don't know if he has any light up eyes. There's also Spirit Halloween. I think it was not the Barnyard Butcher. It was, I think I'm getting them mixed up here. It was, it was the Burlap Horror Scarecrow, which I think was a very cool one. He had red light up eyes and he made like grunting noises, and he was only $150. So that's really something, and he looks really cool. So the fact that he's only $150 and he does almost the same things, except he doesn't have fog, but you could do that because it's not like they give you a fog machine with it. So, I just think that they really are trying to overprice these. Especially since it's a static prop. The Burlap Horror Scarecrow was a really cool one, and he's only $150, and he's still on their website today. He has a really detailed face and hands, just like the Plague Doctor, and some would say they like him more. So if you're looking for a static prop, unless he really fits your theme, I wouldn't really get the Plague Doctor. I'd get Burlap Horror Scarecrow. He looks way cooler. So obviously, I really like this animatronic. If it wasn't for the price, I'd probably get him. Why am I saying animatronic? He's a static prop. Obviously, I would get him if he wasn't so expensive. Maybe if it was $150, I'd consider it. But the fact that he doesn't do anything is really a bummer. they could have turned it into something really, really cool. Now, obviously, my biggest hate on him is the price. But the things I like about him are, I mean, I like everything about him besides the fact that he doesn't move. I love his face. I love the cool skull cane that he has. I just love how the fog comes out of his mask like it's escaping, like he's, he's exposed to like toxic chemical. Tell me what you guys think of the Plague Doctor, and tell me if you're getting him, because I'll be interested to know why and what, if you're fitting him into a theme or something like that. And I'd really love to see people using him in a cool and unique way. So, as usual, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below what you thought of the video. Thanks for watching.